Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 39-degree Tuesday, the 16th of September. The temperature is supposed to be 90 today. It usually goes higher than 90, whatever the high is. For some reason, up here in this valley, we always get a couple degrees or sometimes more higher. But anyway, if it gets to 90, that'll be a 51-degree swing in temperature today, from the coldest to the warmest. We'll have to see how this works out. It's 57 at the moment, and literally not a single cloud. We're under some crazy, it's supposed to be excessively dry with a lot of wind today. We're under extreme fire watches and stuff. They say because it's going to be very dry and crispy, and the high winds, that if something goes off, it's going to go big. So yeah, and I get them because I have the weather for here, like Longview, Kelso, and Vancouver and stuff like that. All these things I'm getting dinged with them. They all got the same warning. But right now it's just absolutely calm. So crazy. Last night I installed that iOS 16 with the liquid glass thing. Kind of weirded me out at first, and I'm like, whoa. Initially I didn't like it, but I just woke up this morning, been using my phone, and haven't given it a second thought. What's cool is I just put my watch on here before I came out, and it also updated to watch OS 26. They're going by the year now, because even though it's September, they're releasing the 26 phones, the iOS, the iPhone 17 with iOS 26. They're going to do that now, instead of, because it would have been iOS 19, iPad OS 19, so on and so forth. But yeah, I love the watch thing. I actually like the feature of it. Weirded me out, I'd have to say, right at first. But anyway, let's roll to the Southland and make sure we get that bottle coming for that Spyder. It'd be a catastrophe. I need to see if I can get that bottle out with the fairing and stuff on it. I just don't see how I'm going to do it, but we're going to investigate today. All right, let's roll. It's already made it to 74 here in Vancouver. Yeah, we turn all the fans off and stuff to do our goodbye, and it is stiflingly hot in here.
Yeah, definitely not cold like this morning.
Yeah, definitely not. That's crazy.
Yeah. But
anyway, let's go in there and earn our keep.
Alrighty.
Earn our keep before they boot us out.
Yeah.
All right, Mama.
You have a good day.
You do the same.
Thank you.
I'll see you as the day goes on.
All right.
Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye now.
Bye.
So we got the tank ordered this morning, and it's coming out of Nevada instead of Texas, which is a little bit closer. But and we got it next day. Once it gets rolling, Kelly can look at the ETA and make sure it'll make it next day. But hopefully they got it done early enough, because Texas or Nevada, I think they're 2 hours ahead of us too. But anyway, proof of concept. It did come out the hole. So I removed the line that goes from the tank to the water pump. That's the nipple for it right there. See it sticking out. So it's a worm gear on the water pump side, and it's an Oetiker clamp on the bottle side. So I took that zip tie that I was showing you guys yesterday and just kind of tipped everything out of the way. Well, it sits on top of this shelf up here. You can see the dirt of it. So it sits on top of that, and it's got a hook on the front that goes in right there. So all I had to do was lift it up enough, which will clear the fairing on the one that still has the fairing on it. Lift it, and without that hose in there, I was able to just press the wires down, and just a little bit of snugness. You can see where I rubbed against the hose there, and I got some of the nasty on it, but that's all it is, just rubbed on it. But yeah, it come out. So I can get that bottle out without taking the fairing off. or, you know, undoing the lateral support, but the fairing comes over this, it would be a total nightmare. Then you'd have to take this whole piece off, which is not a big deal. I have to anyway, because part of this service is doing an HCM pump on a 28K. Yep, she's all got to come out. Man, these folks down that dry California and wherever else they've been, I don't know how they haven't been stung. I've blown more bees that didn't make it, so to speak, out of here. I've literally had to take the dust mop because I was blowing it off and it's just flying everywhere. And it goes to my bench and I just blow it off the back of the bench and take the dust mop and come clean it out. Lots and lots and lots of bugs, which brings me to another point that I can see through it pretty good, but I'll have to take it on the hill to burp it. You got to get that right front tire a mile in the air out there and try to burp the cooling system. It can, it's amazing. You never see that in there. Well, another thing, if you're not putting a Yuasa, because this doesn't fit on that groove correctly, so, and it's really hard to get that in there anyway, but yeah, that battery's technically not strapped down. But anyway, got the spark plugs in first thing, and I wanted to prove that I can get that thing out, show that I can. And while I'm spraying the radiators out, you don't use high pressure washer on them. You use something to dissolve the bugs and just push it through. You don't want to blast. I mean, the motors on the back of these radiator fans they're waterproof, but they're not blast proof. You can't blast them with anything. Plus, you blast it. Say you use the pressure washer, which we have one up there. You will fold those fins. You can see where, you know, even from the factory, or maybe something got through the screen and did that, but it'll fold those fins over. Well, how this thing cools, because here's the water channels that you can see coming down, and it's just like a flat piece of pipe that runs down, and these cooling fins transfer or pulling the heat from the flat cooling fins into these, you know, the fins that actually do take away the heat. So if that thing gets plugged with bugs, it becomes a wall. That radiator needs to see some air, and it's just packed with bugs. And you can see, I don't know if I can make that work, but you can see through it. Oh, here we'll do this. So you can see light going through it. So I mean, they're not damaged, but it's probably enough that it's probably hindering a little bit. He's down the heat of California and wherever else he drives. I don't know. Maybe he's down in San Diego or something, where it's good and hot. But or somewhere out there. Geez, they got what the desert that goes through. Is that the Mojave, or I don't know what it's called out there. The one that people were getting hurt during what was that thing people were, I think it was last year or something, on one of our rides we heard that that people had some medical issues going through there because of the extreme heat. But anyway, so I know that's going to work. I need to get everything I can do done, which that includes putting the fairing back on. But I get everything done that I can, and just try to get it to where all I gotta do is put the coolant bottle, so I can't run it or put the front nose piece on until I'm done, because yeah, those radiators definitely need to be clean. I can technically do it with it off. It's just way easier to do it with it on, but it's way easier to do it with it off. Or maybe I'll change my mind. I've flushed a bunch of them out with the fairings on it. It's easy on these. F3s aren't that bad because the radiator is exposed on the side and you just push the water through, but you got to take the grill off so you can reach inside and spray it down. But anyway, any kind of soap stuff will work. I think you could probably even throw that muck off stuff on there. I'll never purchase that stuff again. One guy made a comment and he goes, yeah, they put them huge stands displays in the store, and yeah, it's not a horrible product. That dry cleaner, or what they call it, the dry wash or waterless wash or whatever, yeah, don't even spend your time on it. I got one guy that works here that loves it. So he's a younger guy that absolutely loves it. So I did some pixel peeping, as it may be. Yeah, it's not what he thinks it is. I need to get him like a little Doug and I were talking about it. He goes, he takes some bug slide and fills a little 4-ounce eyeglass cleaner. And I was telling him, I said, you know what, Doug? I think the little 4-ounce bottle that comes in that little travel kit, it's got the bag and rag and everything in it. I think that's literally the same kind of bottle they use for those eyeglass cleaners. Be surprised how long that 4-ounce bottle lasts, especially when you shove the rag back in there and keep it. And what I do is you ziplock it till the very end, and then I just squeeze it against my chest or my belly and try to suck all the air out of the bag, and then zip that last part together. Doug said he uses a gallon Ziploc bag. That'll work as well. But anyway, I thought I'd just pop in here right quick and show y'all what's going on. Brake pads, literally brand spanking new. And he was thinking he needed some pads. Oh, that light's too bright. Yeah, they're absolutely brand new. So I think the place he had it before may have changed it, and I don't know, I'm kind of a penny pincher. If they charged me for pads and the labor to do it, I'd be well aware of that. But anyway, they look like Brimbos. I don't think this definitely look like Brimbos. Oh, you can't look. I was going to say you can look on the backside and see it, but this has got 4 live pistons, so you're not going to see the backing plate until you knock the pads out. See, there's this kind of stuff where it's just piled up everywhere. And, I need to blow stuff out of the way as I'm going along, and man, what a mess. Woo! Hello there. Oh, why is my walkie-talkie charging? Was I using it today? I haven't been using that thing. It might have got knocked loose, and I got it to connect again. So anyway, I was just taking a break, looking at them. We call them Honda push pins. They have a something lock. There's a technical name for them now. Honda's been using them for so long that literally everybody calls them Honda lock pins. But anyway, took a break. I'll show you what I've done so far, and we're gonna go forward. The old tank looks like it's definitely leaking around the seam, and a couple more of you guys have commented and have had this problem yourself, and yeah, it's definitely leaking from the seam. So I think that part that I ordered superseded or something. Kelly had to do something with it. I wasn't. Kelly was doing all the work on it. So 2019, and that's usually it's probably 12, because they do it, European, like we go month, day, year, and they go day, month, year. So that's probably this December 2nd of 2019 is when that bottle was made. I love it when they tag everything. Harley does that too. Everything's got a tag on it. And even the plastic pieces, they have look at the backside of plastic pieces, and they have these little clocks, and so they can set the mold, so the date is molded into the plastic, so you can see the exact day and year that it was manufactured. But you can tell that thing was dripping for a while. You can see where it's been dripping down on the hose, and there's just, you see residue everywhere. If your cooling system is not under pressure, they'll run too hot. They don't work efficiently. And like I've told you guys, it is a, it's a pressure tank. That's where your pressure cap goes, is at the top. That's why you don't ever release these things when they're hot. And I tell you guys, you fill these things so you see it right at the bottom of the seam. You just look from the bottom side up. I just stick a flashlight at the top. It makes the bottle glow, and you see the orange coolant at the top. You don't want to go high. If it's cold, you don't want to be above the cold mark, because they will purge the coolant. That's the purge line. They'll purge the coolant on the ground. The customer will complain, and then they'll smell it. They used to have a short hose that came out and stuck in that little clamp, and it ended right here. Well, it would drip down, and this is the twins. It would drip down and blow back into the radiator, because the radiator is on this right-hand side on the twins. And you can't get that coolant smell out forever. You just can't get it out. And finally, in 2013, they ran the hose all the way through, and they've continued that. They carried that same thing on with all the 1330s. So. Anyway, here's my little update. Yes, that is a Pro Caliber Ghost. Actually, it's the crazy wind. We're under a red flag warning, I think they're calling it. Super low humidity, high winds. If something catches a fire, it's gonna spread like a wild weed. But this 2020 that has a leaking tank, he thought it was way more than that. One of the things was he was told his water pump's leaking, and I see this on almost every one of these. Hopefully I can sneak in here and show you this. Can I? Or can I? I don't think I can get in there. Right here on this corner. On the corner, this is the water pump. It's bolted in the side of the it's actually more bolted to the well, it's part of the head, yeah. And it's driven off the cam. But anyway, this little lower front edge right here, it has like a dampness look to it. I just literally can't get in there to show you with the camera. But you can see it's all dry. And I think it's some kind of, maybe some lube. It has this elaborate, you can't do anything with them, but we've taken the pump apart to see what they look like inside. And it has one of those flat, like the derby cover seals on a Harley. A lot of things, valve cover gaskets will do that kind of a flat gasket. And that, not surface wise, but it, vertically wise. It slips into the cover, and then you put the cover on. Anyway, those things a lot of times I've seen them with some kind of grease to make them slippery and, find their home when they assemble it. But almost every one of them has this little dampness right there. Nothing's dripping anywhere. But if you look through there, you'll see that and go, oh no, well, somebody told him he needed a water pump and quoted him a bunch of money. But you can almost look at any one of these things that has any miles on it, and you'll see, probably touch it and you'll see it. Yeah, see? Just has that dry, it's something old. It's not anything fresh. A leak, it would be all over this thing if it was leaking. But yeah, anyway. You probably couldn't hear me because I had you on the other side of the fender, and I was talking from here and you were sitting over here. But another thing, I got sidetracked there talking about that gentleman there. So he came in this morning, and to Matt up there, he goes, give this to Shawn. This is the 35th annual run to the wall to the Vietnam Memorial. So he gave me one of those pins. This is a 2025 pin. This is the one from earlier this year. How cool is that? There's a nice little bag that it came in. And thank you very much. I won't say your name out loud, but I've worked on that before. And I think I did, I don't know, service. I just remember the bike, and I remember his name. He's got a cool name. But anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. So I had myself a little bit of a scare because I overthinking stuff. So I'm looking, And I was just I was actually finishing up on the brakes, and I was cleaning my diaphragm and all that stuff, putting that back together. And got the fuel filter done, HCM filters done. Of course, the plugs are back in it. But anyway, so I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going, where? I know the ECM's hanging off of that thing, and the TCM's hanging on the other side, but I'm worried about the ECM side. I'm going, oh man, how far does that thing protrude down? So I come over here and I'm eyeballing this thing, and I'm going, oh man, that thing protrudes way down. So look at this bolt right here, and where the ECM, now the ECM I can take off, but that's not going to do me anything. It's the fairing frame that's protruding down. But look at this bolt, and look how far that hangs down. A bolt hole. This is where that inner bolt is. These 4 at the very front. Well, I guess that was one of the front ones there. So anyway, I'm going, well, all that's going to hang down. It's going to hang down here too far, and I'm not going to be able to get that bottle in or out. Well, if I go over to this one and I reach underneath where the ECM is and where the frame is, get my hand, okay, there's the ECM and there's the frame. It's that much, that's how far it protrudes past the frame. So basically it's going to hang about that far. So I was playing around with the bottle. So I should be able to still squeak that thing in and out. I'm just thinking, man, because these folks are going to be in a hurry. If that bottle shows up, I want to be as ready as I can be. The problem is I can't run it to check my oil. I can't, take it upstairs. Well, you got to fill the coolant as much as you can. Then you need to take it up there and tilt the right front tire way up in the air. And sometimes you got to get somebody. I've had my kid come out there, and we just literally hang the Spyder sideways, and all of a sudden it goes burp, and then it burps. So I try to pour it in as slow as I can to make sure everything, if you pour it really fast, you can get an air bubble in them. But anyway, so I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh no, major problem. So I'm pretty much, minus the bottle, I've got one other, where's that thing at? I got the evap pre-filter. Oh no, you know what? 2020s I think was still using, oh, I can't even see it. It's still using an Oetiker clamp. They're just using a spring clamp on there now, because it's not under any kind of pressure. The one's definitely a spring clamp, and then the this is like the bleeder hose or whatever. But anyway, I'll see what I got when I get in there. I'll probably have a spare Oetiker clamp, so I don't have to add anything to the price of the service. But Clunk along, he's got these dadgum. He forewarned me. He's got those magnetic drain plugs, which you're talking to Spyder. If you had an old twin, that'd probably be a good thing. There's nothing on either plug, but it makes it really hard to get to that plug. And you can see where someone was literally using an open-end wrench to get past because the bolt is right here. Well, you got the bolt that holds this rod is in the way. Well, that's fine if you got the Allen, 6mm Allen, because you use a longer Allen, it goes right in there. Well, so I get the thing out. What I did is just release this side and just push the pedal too far, and then it brings the head of that bolt, actually it's the nut side of it, but it brings that far enough away that I can get in and unbolt it. Well, I'm cleaning everything up to put it on. You can see where someone slipped a couple of times. Somebody's literally either removing or installing it with an open-end wrench. And yeah, that didn't work very well. But the socket, 13 millimeter socket fits it fine. And then you got a 17 millimeter socket for the other aftermarket one. But anyway, no harm, no foul. Literally nothing on either one. There never is on these things. I've never seen one of these things grenade, so I think I can safely go ahead and put the fairing on. And the other thing I'm a little worried about, but looking through the top of that one, it shouldn't be a problem. Or I think did I take that cover off? Yeah, I did. So you can see she's a tight fit. She ain't coming up and out. But my fear is that secondary collector right there is going to be really tricky to get around. And working with these Oetiker clamps, that's a spring clamp back there. I can spin that thing around and get it at the top. But, you know, getting these Oetiker clamps off and getting them back, well, that one won't be hard to get back in. But we need to go down and out. She's going to just sneak right through that hole right there. I'm going to have to take all this paneling and stuff, a whole bunch of stuff off over here. So she should go out. And there's enough room for it to lift and get that hook right there. Well, that light's so bright it washes everything out. But it should work. And his is leaking too. His hasn't been doing it as long, so it's not all, doesn't have all that what looks like calcium buildup. It's weird how coolant does like battery acid when it gets exposed to air like that. But anyway, it'll work. Cool beans. All right. So let me toss the airbox in there, which is super easy on an RT, by the way. Nightmare on an F3. And I'll just get everything kind of prepared to accept the bottle, and then from there I need to run everything and bleed my coolant and flush those radiators out. And hopefully I have everything ready, and if that thing shows, I should have Kelly check on that thing, but if it shows on time in the morning, I'll be able to do that and get them out fairly early. So we've been home for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. Abby crawled underneath the craft house over there, and her old self couldn't get out.
Oh man.
So we had clippers and chainsaws and kind of deleted a bush over there,
well,
so she could get out.
I cut the bush down before, and it just grows back and just gets huge.
Yeah, I think it's almost like a weed. It just comes right back. But yeah, we made a big mess. Got the dog out.
Yeah.
Goofball, she's too old. They can't walk in there. They literally have to crawl underneath there on their side.
Why would she go in?
No idea. And Madison has gone in there a couple of times and just screams when we come home because she can't get out either.
Oh, I know.
But meathead old dogs are getting
way too
senile
old
in their senior years. But anyway, that was fun day messing with that Spyder again. Hope you guys enjoy the techie talk. If that's what I did, I don't know. I was just kind of throwing videos in there and getting back to it. But on that, we're gonna roll.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give your thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful Wednesday or Thursday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll see you in the morning.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.
Bye.